Ko'z ishingga botirib qalam, qo'rqinchlik emasmi bo'zlamoq. Oq qog'ozning yuziga qarab, faqat haqiqatni so'zlamak.
And so, yeah, I was wondering, as an academic, how you see that, and especially with the personal history that you talked about of like growing up in this situation of like your father being able to move to the States because of this academic solidarity, but then also being exiled from the country for some time because of his own political beliefs. I'm wondering what you're thinking about this trend that we've seen in the last 5 years or so.
I mean, I think because of my story, because, in Sudan, the universities and academic institutions have always been extremely central to democratic movements and to revolutionary movements that depose dictatorships, right? So I come from a context, from a country, from a historical context where the power of academic institutions as kind of places that insist on and support democratic rights is very central. And even in this last revolution, university students were a big part of this 2019 revolution. So in terms of what's happening now and these attacks on institutions that you're talking about, I think they are coming out of the knowledge or the sense that these academic institutions are places where that do kind of foster and allow for a kind of sort of openness and insistence on democratic activism. And so they're not, there's this trend to shut them down, precisely because they pose a threat to the rise of these right-wing populist movements, and that's often why they're targeted. So I think
these people are systematically oppressed by their own government.
We've been waking up to horrific stories every day, heartbreaking images separating mothers from their children.
They live in a police state where they're monitored by one of the most advanced and intrusive surveillance systems in the world. Many of them have not been heard from since being detained.
Currently, not everyone is being afforded this academic freedom. Since 2017, more than 1 million Uyghurs and members of other Turkic Muslim minorities have disappeared into a vast network of re-education camps in the far west region of Xinjiang, in what some experts call a systematic, government-led program of cultural genocide. Inside the camps, detainees are subjected to political indoctrination, forced to renounce their religion and culture, and in some instances, reportedly subjected to torture.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization defines academic freedom as scholars' right, without constriction by prescribed doctrine, to freedom of teaching and discussion, freedom in carrying out research and disseminating and publishing the results thereof, freedom to express freely their own opinion about the institution or system in which they work, freedom from institutional censorship, and freedom to participate in professional or representative academic bodies. Academic freedom is critical in top quality higher education communities and society generally.
We urge you to join our call to action.